Hi, Chris Good here, and I'm going to show you how to do Anova inside of RStudio. You're going to need these files, independent groups Anova in R1, 2, and 3. I'm going to use 1 as the example. And to do that, remember, we're going to import a data set from Excel, and that lets you browse your computer. I'm going to look on my desktop here for independent groups Anova and R. And this is from the practice problems that we were doing, way back a couple of quizzes ago. So go ahead and open that and then click on import. And when you do, you'll see something that looks like this. There's 3 columns, one for each treatment, and then we've got 5 scores in each treatment group. We actually have to manipulate this file so that we get 2 columns instead. One of the columns is going to have the name of the group, and then the other column is going to have the score. That's the way that you have to format it in order for R to handle an analysis of variance. And in order to make that happen, you don't have to do it manually, you can do it automatically, but you have to have this function that doesn't load when you first start R. So you need to install a package, and we haven't done this before, but here's how you do it. It's on line 19 here in this sample file. It says install.packages, and then inside parentheses immediately after that you put this name reshape in quotes. That's the package reshape, and you're installing the package. So a package is just a collection of functions, and the function that we want is in this sort of collection that's called reshape. Once you hit install packages, right, I'm getting this error because it said, hey, you already installed that, so I'm just going to restart R and load it again. So it's installing the packages, and you'll see something like this. It's going to talk to whatever crayon mirror that you specified, and then to say, okay, I did it, I downloaded these packages. Then you need to library the package by running line 20. So library, and then in parentheses without the quotes this time, type reshape, and run that line. And it, of course, R will tell you nothing because it's really bad at giving feedback. Okay, so we loaded that package that contains this function that we want to use, but we can't use the function until we convert our data file to a data frame, and we're going to do that in line 21. You can put whatever you want to as the name of the resulting data file, but I'm just going to rename it exactly the same. So if you just start typing independent groups Anova and tab to complete, it'll pick one, but make sure it's whichever one you're working on. So I'm going to do 1 as an example, and then you're going to do 2 or 3 as the assignment. So I just typed the name of that file, and then I typed this little less than dash, right? And that means that this new thing that exists, this new data frame, comes from, that's what or equals to, the result of applying this function as.data.frame on the same name of the file. So I'm just I'm renaming the file. I'm not renaming the file. I'm saving it under the old name after it's been acted upon by this function. So if you run that, hopefully R will tell you that you did nothing wrong, or won't tell you anything, and that means that it's now a data frame. Now we're going to create this new vector. I'm going to call mine melt.data, and you can call yours whatever you want. I don't care. You can call it like Anova2 data or whatever. But it is equal to the result of applying this function, melt, which is in the reshape package, to the data file that you just made into a data frame. So run line 22, and you should get something like this. It actually might show you the result of, I've already run this line, but it might show you the result and show you all the data. If it doesn't, you can check and see what the resulting data file looks like by running the function head, which shows you the first 6 lines of whatever is in the parentheses. So I created this thing called melt.data by applying melt to my data frame that I created in line 21. And here's the result. Here's the head of that vector melt.data. Right? So now we have 2 columns instead of 3. We have a variable name, 5 placebo scores, 5 values, and if you look at the entire data frame, then you can see that we've got all 15 of our scores with variable name in column 1 and value in column 2. R actually comes with a bunch of functions that allow you to visualize data, And there's one that loads automatically when you start R, and it's a function called boxplot. And if you look in the names of this column, the variable name is under the column heading variable. The value, the score, is under a column called value. So if you do box plot, and then in parentheses do variable, and then this isn't a dash, it's that tilde, it's the little squiggly line symbol. So value tilde variable comma, and then you say, do it on this data frame, data equals melt.data, you'll actually get a box plot over here in the plots window to show you that, oh look, the placebo score is higher than low dose or moderate dose. And remember, this was, I think we're testing an antidepressant, so low score means you're less sad or something like that. Anyway, that's a really neat way of visualizing your data real quickly. Just say box plot operates on value tilde variable comma data equals whatever you named your melted data file up here in line 22. Okay, now it's time to do the Anova. It's really simple. It's I'm going to create this new vector called res.aov. That's that's results of the Anova, and the Anova function is called AOV, and it operates on the same thing that we did the box plot: value tilde variable, value by variable, comma, and then specify that you're acting on the melt.data frame that you created up here in line 22. So whatever you called your melted data frame, that's what we're going to put for data equals down here in the AOV. And again, you can call the results whatever you want to. You can just say results, but you have to use the same name here when you do your summary report, and then when you do your post hoc test down here as well. So let's run line 25, and it doesn't do anything, but it did run the Anova, and you can tell that by running this report called summary. It's a function called summary, and that acts on the results that you created, or whatever you called this vector here in line 25. You put in parentheses for summary, and in the console you can see that it gives you a p-value and a source table. It says residuals down here, and we know because this is independent groups that means within treatments, degrees of freedom, sums of squares, mean square. Here's the f, and here's the p. And you can see it's got two little asterisks. That means that it's significant at the point 0, 0, 1 level of significance, and sorry, at the point, yeah, point 0.01 level of significance. And that means we need to do 2 keys. And 2 keys is really easy. Just do 2 key HSD, acting on the same results from the Anova that you ran, and there's your 2 keys. Okay, so that's how to do an independent groups Anova, and I'll be back in the next video to show you how to do repeated measures.